people who might not necessarily understand Nigerian dynamics and culture. So I thought it was very, very important that you and your team put your own stamp, being Nigerians, telling that story. So can you just tell us a little bit about that specific documentary?
The project was not initially like my idea, but the filmmaker, the founder of Best in Hollywood that I met January 2020, he just called me and said, well, we actually need to put this out. I was like, okay, sure, no problem, let's do this. But he was like, we have to be careful, so that I won't get into trouble. But I'm just like, it's about that telling the truth, please. So a few members of my team brought them on board and we just started crafting it. We wanted the world to see it, especially for those who don't have proper information, like the genesis of everything up until the end. And that time was very crucial. We're waiting on the panel that was set up to investigate. We're waiting on their response that time. So it was like that would be the end of the documentary, and let's see what happens from there. We're happy we did it, and definitely it's not going to end there, because don't let me say NSAS might come up again. I don't pray it does, but we need a revolution and all hands have to be on deck. So whether or not you're a filmmaker, whatever space you find yourself in, we just have to come together and just put our voices together and say, we need a revolution. It's now or never. So yeah, that's
definitely. You should say that loudly. Yes. But can you, I know you might not want to share. I know writers are very, territorial about their ideas that are not out there yet. But is there another documentary or short film that's in the works about another issue that you can tell us a little bit about, or you're kind of focusing on the acting right now?
Focusing on acting is what I do every day. It's like breathing for me. But yes, I have another story. That's in my head, and how my stories come about are just very funny, very random, mundane situations. Like a friend of mine, my classmate from uni, just randomly called me and said, Rolake, I have my wedding dress and I don't need it, so just send someone to come and pick it up and use it for whatever. So that just gave me an idea for a short film. So my classmate's wedding dress is in my room, and I'm already writing. Like, I haven't put it in paper, but I made like a 7-minute voice note and sent it to my director friend Steven, like, let's do this. So we're still fleshing it out, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing short film.
I'm already interested from that little bit. Okay, well, you said acting is for you just like breathing. So let's get into that a bit. You have been acting for quite a long time, and you've been in so many different things, from Africa Magic to the stage to films. So can you tell us about your first big moment where you felt like, okay, the audition I went on was successful and I'm actually going to be in something?
This answer might shock you a bit, but I think that would be that first feeling, the feeling you just described. I felt it for the first time last year, despite the fact that I've been, taking on smaller roles since I was in uni and all of that, which helped me expose me to the network I have now. But that feeling you just described, I think I felt it for the first time last year when I went for an audition and I got the character Damola in a series that is yet to be released. It's called Mafia Alliance. Yeah, a full series. I was like, okay, so I can get an audition and get a video. Oh, nice. Because it's not easy, to be honest. Oh, it's not easy. If you have to get into the art, you have to get a bulletproof for rejections. It's not easy.
I can't imagine.
It's not easy, All right. Tell somebody I'm in this film and they're looking for you. You're like, oh yeah, it's a campus. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. But the first time I had that proper feeling just described was last year. We were on set for a month. Mm-hmm. I was away from home. That's the first time I've been away from home for that period of time. And it was just amazing, taking on a lead role and everything. It was beautiful. Yeah, made more friends, expanded my network more. And I don't want to spill a lot about my character, but she's completely different from the Rolake that oh my God, I couldn't recognize myself sometimes. Like, the director was bringing out parts of me. I was like, where is this part? I'm not like this. What is going on? So yeah, last year. That was before Osamide. Then when Osamide came, yeah, I actually had that feeling like, okay, yes, this is making well.
Let's talk about the Queen Osamide. Because first of all, there's so many positive glowing reviews about your performance, which was at the Musan Center, I believe, last December. Yes. That's when it ran. And I couldn't keep on refreshing how many reviews I've seen about your performance, showing vulnerability, strength, a woman in the leadership position. So can you tell us a bit about that role? And on Instagram, I saw that you wrote that Osamide is me and Osamide is you. And I kind of love that. So can you just tell us a bit about that character, how you prepared for it, and if she's still with you inside today?
Yeah, you're right. Osamide is me, literally. Osamide represents the person who refuses to settle for less, the person who clamors for change, the humanitarian who would go to any length, even to the point of losing her life, to make the lives of other people better. And I remember how I got the role. The executive producer told me that she had seen my short films, she had seen Masculine, she had seen The Jar, that I'm literally that person. I'm always just fighting for a cause. I'm a cause person. So it wasn't really difficult for her to decide to cast me for that role. She just believed that, it's just me portraying myself, really, and all. So yes, Osamide is a freedom fighter. She's calm but fierce. She's gentle, but she can beat you up. She's just that small girl from a very small town, like the lowest classification of human beings, so to speak. But she just rises up, especially with the help of God, also rise up to a leadership position, and she uses it to better the lives of her people. She's the last person to be selfish. She's selfless. She's brave. Even in the moments of fear, she just shrugs it up and we have to do this. We have to get this right. Even if she's saying things that people feel are not making any sense, she knows she's making sense. So she'll talk till you hear. So that's just who she is. Osamide is actually, the character is very similar, literally like a spin-off from the character of Queen Esther in the Bible. That's literally Osamide, yes. The poor orphan girl came into the palace to just change the lives of her people. So I was literally Queen Esther, being the freedom fighter in the palace, and it was amazing. And my challenge, playing her, my voice. In real life, my voice isn't exactly loud. So, and me being used to scream, you don't have to shout because you have mics on. But now I'm on stage, you're like, well, okay, you need to project. I had to learn between projecting and screaming. It was tough. I had the softest voice, one. Then number two, I found myself among legends I grew up watching. So it was overwhelming for me at first. There's me ask myself, what am I doing here? How did I get here? What's going on? It was overwhelming. But I made myself very vulnerable. They all knew what was going on in my head. I just put my mind like, okay, I feel like the little fish out of water here. Can you help me out? It just took me that their baby. Like, don't worry, you get there and everything. So, but it was an amazing experience. It was literally life-changing. It gave me a reorientation. If I had been seeing myself as a small actor before then, after Osamide, there was a yes, like I'm like I am an actor. So yes, it really, really helped me mentally and everything. So I'm just grateful for the experience. Yeah.
The costumes, everything, it looked amazing. But can you tell us about, this was a stage play that went on for a few days. It was sort of a live audience with a musical and dancing. And how did you prepare, like so you felt so comfortable that you didn't have to think? Like what was the preparation process like?
We rehearsed for a month. But besides rehearsals at the venue, I rehearsed myself in my room with my script, talking to myself night and day, calling my assistant director to help me if I feel like I'm not getting something right. And I just had to constantly remind myself that I could do this, because I actually felt overwhelmed, because of the space I found myself, just like that. the show ran for 3 days, 2 shows per day. That's
Wow.
something I've never done in my life. After I was already, I literally crashed, like physically. I wasn't hospitalized, but I crashed. And I was asking people who had done it before, like Patrick Diaboa, like, how did you do it? I don't know where you do it. Just take each show like it's the only show. Just, talk to yourself and psych your brain, kind of. So, physically, I was trying to make sure that I rest as much as possible, before the show. I did a lot of that. Mentally, motivation. I spoke to people that I knew would speak life back to me because I just couldn't handle any negative energy that period. So I made sure that my mind was right, my body was right, and I just kept on believing in myself that I can do this. I've not done it before, fine. Lead character, this girl from nowhere, yes, but I can do this. So yes, that was literally how I prepared for it, and it turned out well.
It turned out wonderful. And yeah, now I'm sure when that opportunity comes again, you're like, "Ugh, I've already done that." So it's just another building block, another building block. But you are such a versatile actress. You can do stage, you can do film. Which one do you prefer though?
I don't know, because if you had asked me this question like last year, I would have said screen, film. But after Summit, I had another stage play in February, and it was amazing for me. People were surprised, like, are you sure you've just been doing screen all your life? Like, they said my performance was very natural. So now I'm like, I don't know. I love both. I love both. Stage makes you connect with the audience, like they can see you, you're right there, right? And all, but I really don't know, to be honest. I love both, really. I think my only challenge with stage is when they probably ask me to sing. I'm not a singer, right? So yes, that would be the only problem, right? But in film, you can still hide under, some ADR and all of that. But generally, I love both. I'm willing to grow. So yeah, I love both of them.
Mhm. Who are some of your mentors in the acting world, the Nigerian acting world?
Mentored, Roger Zufime. He's the founder of Native Media that produces the Johnson and all of that. He has been a very, very, very strong pillar of support. There are times when I have like mental breakdowns, I don't know what I'm doing. He will talk to me, and he's a very busy person. I don't know how he has my time. He will talk to me and motivate me and tell me his story. I'll learn from it. When I didn't have anything to do like acting, he gave me a job. Okay, come and be a researcher for a documentary I'm about to produce. He has been a very, 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 very strong pillar. If I'm far from what to while I work with her, just watching her, leaving the corporate world to do what she wants to do, just reiterated that, see, you can't run away from your passion in this life. If you like come back to it when you're 70, you will still do it. So she also inspires me. Personal mentors, I can't really say, but there are some actors, or very few actors and actresses I look up to, like their performance. I want to learn from them in this country. One is Nse. For me, Nse is like one of the best effortless actress like this country. Nse, Gabriel Afolayo. For me, when I watch both of them, I'm like, they need to start their own acting classes. I'll be the first student to enroll. So yeah, a lot of people are look. A few other names are not coming to my head right now. Sorry, but yeah, for now.
You mentioned workshops. What are some of the workshops or resources that young actors, especially in Lagos, maybe that want to refine their skills, hone their skills, can maybe attend?
Okay, there are a lot of them online, but I pray you attend one physically. Africa International Film Festival. I was a student there 2019. Yeah, 2019, 2020. Even if you don't get to be like the top 5 in your class, but network. I mean, that's how I met Mrs. Yoda Dokubo. She's also a mentor for me. Yeah, thank God I mentioned that. She's also a mentor for me. There's time I'll send her my monologue, she'll give me feedback and all. So just, Afrif is there. The theater festival that happens at Freedom Park is also a great place for you to network. I attended an acting class there. We had RMD and Ireti Doyle to come talk to us. Michael Jabba, the manager for Motala. So just keep your ears down. be on social media, know the next workshop, the next acting class, go there. Whether it's free or paid for, just go. Network, meet people, tell them what you can do. You never can say. You don't know who you really need at that point. So
Yeah, you can never say. And I think what you keep talking about networking, and it is really, really important. But the Nollywood industry as a whole, I want to talk to you because you're the expert. There have been sometimes some negativity, okay, maybe it's not the best place for young women. Maybe women are sometimes put in situations where they may have to do something they're not comfortable with. How do you, hopefully that has not been your experience, but how do you kind of always just keep your goal and target in mind and just create a positive working environment for yourself?
I don't know if that question really has an answer, because I just feel like I'm just fortunate to be like among the exceptional few. Like you said, I've actually never experienced that. People have asked me, have you ever been like sexually harassed? I remember somebody asking me, somebody close to me asking me, I hope you didn't have to like sleep with anybody to get the role of a Sammy there because it's a lead role. How are you on the billboard and you didn't do anything? And I'm like, I don't, I understand the question. I didn't get offended. I understand because it's the reality of what's going on, right? But I just feel like, first of all, the way you carry yourself matters, Joe. The way you carry yourself matters. If you carry yourself in a way that they see that you're a respectable young lady, yes, you're young, you don't have all the knowledge, but you know what you're doing and you're ultra focused. There's a way some predators, quote unquote, actually avoid you. Avoid in the sense that they won't work with you, but they'll just avoid bringing anything negative to your table because of the way you've carried yourself. So your courage as a woman really matters. And, I think people who fall into that space are those that don't have anything else to offer, if you get what I mean. But if you have something to offer, you have a degree, you are very intelligent. When you speak, you're articulate, you're eloquent, they will just respect you unconsciously. So, and also all of this points to being independent too. Now that I've asked this question, I realized why my dad just wanted me to have a degree. It feels, if you do not have something to hold on to, you just fall for anything thrown at you. But if you're a respectable young woman, let's say you're a doctor, for example, like Ikiomili, right? Even if acting isn't working out, let's say all the directors want to like date you and you say no, you have your medicine career to fall back to, and you can get some money from there and produce a movie yourself. Nobody can harass you in that space. So as a woman, it's important to be independent. Carry yourself properly. Carry yourself in the way that you want people to carry you, to address you. And I think you bypass all of that. So far, I've not had any of that, and I've worked with like quite a number of the male gender. Like I said, when you asked about my mentor, the person that I mentioned was a man, and I've not had such experience. Like, even when you're even working with the older men, there's a way you just relate with them. They'll have no choice than look at you like their daughter. Yeah. Even if they were attracted, the attraction will just disappear. There's also a way you just act around them, turn them into your dad and elder brother. They'll leave you alone, really. To be honest. So that's how it has worked for me so far. And thankfully, I've not had any negative experience.
Yes, I'm happy to hear that. And Nollywood in general, in this time that we're in, there's so much more international interest in Nigerian films, Nigerian movies. We have so much more financial backing, like Netflix is obsessed with us. How do you feel, where do you feel the industry is going? And what role do you want to have in its future?
I just thank God for how far we've come. It's like the international space that the ones calling us. They've seen what we can do and they just want to be a part of it. Even this movie, The King Woman, Viola Davis, I had PJ and Jimmy Odukoya, is part of the project and everything. So we're actually like getting to that point where our music industry has gotten to the global domination area. So I'm just happy, like I'm in this generation to be a part of it. I just like advise people to like make themselves available, network, try to be at the right place at the right time, because they're really coming for us. They want what we have. we have stories that they haven't told, and just imagine, the combination of their technology and our stories. We're taking over. So yeah, this is like the right time to be in Hollywood, to be honest, in any capacity, even if you're just a DOP or a makeup artist or an actor.
Yeah.
Just make yourself available. Don't shy away from opportunities. Don't be intimidated. I for one, I think they're even the ones intimidated by us. If you think about it critically. So just make sure you're there, and just make yourself available. Network, connect, and we will take over the Oscars sooner than we know. I know that.
Get our own Oscars.
Right.
Because I feel like it's wonderful because we can't deny it. There's certain things that other film industries from different countries have that we don't yet. But like you said, what we have to offer, they can't put a price on it. They want it so much. How do we kind of protect the authenticity of what we're doing and kind of force them to say, okay, you want our best Nigerian actresses, we need a Nigerian director though. Kind of give and take. So more things have our influence instead of just, oh, they're just giving us money and the story behind the narrative now becomes kind of their own slant. How do you feel about that?
I feel that is skill that can be learned in school. It's negotiation and how you present yourself. Yeah, that's a specific knowledge thing. When we get to the round table, when we discuss, we let them know these are our terms. If you can't meet us halfway, well, sorry. Because they will come, they will bend the rules because they need us. They need us. So they know that we have what they don't have. So when we put our foot down and refuse to be intimidated by them and everything, they would actually bend the rules. So I just want like every Nigerian, every African to not feel like a small fish beside them, because we actually have the higher power, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's it.
And speaking of negotiation, you of course are a lawyer. How does that help you with your contracts, with the negotiations you make about, your working hours, the payment, remuneration? How does that knowledge that you have about how to address certain issues help you in your acting profession?
First of all, there's a bit of like intimidation when people hear I'm a lawyer. They're like, oh, okay.
Esquire.
At first, they're like, I hope she's not stubborn. I hope she won't give us trouble. When they see me, I'm just smiling like, hi. I'm just a nice little girl. But yeah, I look at my contracts critically. Then my friends also come to me. I have my friends sending me all the time. Like, help me look through now, please. I'm like, okay, no problem. So it just gives you this protection of, oh, she won't take nonsense. Even before I speak, people are already like, behaving themselves around me. And yeah, so far, because of my legal knowledge and my knowledge about contract, I've not found myself in any negative situation, because I see something wrong, I ask what's going on. Recently I got a contract for a movie, and there was a clause that said even when the shoot is over, the production company still has the right to call us back to take up additional scenes at no extra pay. I was like, wow. So funny enough, my friend who was about to sign it, I also called her. I'm like, hey girl, have you seen like clause 17B? She was like, what's that? That she has read, she didn't see it. When I pointed out, she was like, I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so not signing this. I'm so not signing this. So we sent an email back to the production company, like, no, they're not interested. You have to take this out, and they apologized and amended it, said better.
Wow.
So yeah, they did it. So it's just one of the advantages of having that legal knowledge. And yeah, people have asked me, go into entertainment law.
I was gonna ask.
Really, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. But when I set up my production house completely, yeah, my knowledge of that will help me even sieve out and select the kind of lawyers that will be in the legal department. So it's a plus for me, and I'm really grateful for that. So,
yeah. You just said something here. You thought I didn't hear that.
Oh my God!
You're interested in starting a production company. Okay. Can you tell us a bit about
Yeah.
it? It makes
Well,
sense.
I've actually,
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I've actually started. I just got the name registered. It's the name I used for synopsis, and I used for Perfecto rather. It's called synopsis. I got the name registered. So when I like fully have like a proper business plan and everything, just like transform it into a company. I already have people that I know I can work with because I trust them over the years. Aside their diligence on the job, their characters too, and everything. So yeah, it's already registered as a name, synopsis. That's the name. So we'll just make it bigger at the right time. Yeah.
I'm glad I asked for this interview now before you just blow.
Oh my god.
But as we kind of close out, can you tell us? I think you have a movie out. The setup too.
Yes.
Can you tell us
Yes.
about that and any other projects that could be upcoming that we can go and support you in?
Okay. Yeah, I mean the setup too came to the cinemas August 12th. I think that's Friday. Yeah. It's not a major role, but I was doing a bit of martial arts. That's something I've not done. This year I just find myself doing things I've never done before. I was in a musical on stage in February, singing and dancing, being Beyonce and Sarah. In May, I found myself doing martial arts in setup. I'm like, what's going on? But these are great for. So fine, keep it coming, keep it coming. So yeah, setup is an amazing movie. I met Adesua, who I really, really admire, Kid Enshaw, everybody. I met part of the crew, and every job for me is a networking opportunity. Yeah. So I met people on the crew who are my friends till now. We had the DOP from, was it Liberia? But the sound man was from South Africa. And also I just, network. I have a movie coming out. I don't know if it will be this year, but it's I've forgotten the title, but I was with Beverly Osu, yeah. So the movie should be out this year, next year, I don't know. Mafia Alliance, that was shot last year. Yeah, the series gets out soon too. What was that project? I don't know. Those are the ones I know for now.
I have so many that it's hard to keep track.
Right.
You're doing so well. Like I would say, I have met you before, and you've always just been so kind, so nice, so accommodating, and your passion for acting. Like when you walk, you said it, but because knowing you and seeing you in person, it is true. Like you lead with that passion and you always talk about it with such liveliness. And I'm so glad to see everything that's happening for you and that's going to continue to happen. And I also love that you're committed to talking about things that people generally, especially in Nigeria, sometimes don't, because that's also very important to use your storytelling abilities for that broader purpose. So, Ms. Rolake, thank you so much. Remember us when, please, you get your Oscar. Before we close, I just have a few fun questions at the end to let us know you a little bit better, and then we'll round up. Okay, so you are an actress, meaning you deal with a lot of makeup, a lot of this. How do you take care of your skin on set?
God, some of my answers will actually make you laugh. But I don't think I have a particular routine. Like I try. I use some products from The Ordinary, but some days I'm just like, please, I'm tired. But just make sure I clean up after each scene, because you don't really know like the product and the cleanliness of the object or instrument the makeup artist is using. But I make sure like when we're done for the day, I do my own proper cleanup and I'm good. So far I've not had any negative experience. Thank God.
That's good.
Just it.
A lot of long hours on set. How do actresses and actors make sure they're getting enough food? When do you guys eat? How do you deal with that?
That's very important. So because good. Let me see. Before we start, we make sure there's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Even though some sets just provide breakfast and dinner, I don't know why. But what I do is I always have yogurt, cookies my bag. Even when I'm going for auditions and I'm going to be there for 3 hours, if you open my bag, you see food because I can come and die. I'm sorry. That's what I do. So yeah, I always have my own backup just in
It's
case,
smart.
and it company doesn't like the food and all. And there are restaurants around, so I just order something. I just love it. I remember when I went even during the rehearsals for Sunday, the director was always complaining that I'm always with food. I'm like, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I always have my own backup plan. Oh, yeah, that's my superpower.
You need it. What are some of the unglamorous parts of being on set?
Maybe when a crew member is rude to you. Yes. A crew member is rude to you, or I'll give my example of a movie set I was on this year, and I was coming from church on a Sunday. So I got there and the makeup artist said she was not going to do my makeup because I already have makeup on. And I was like, why? I mean, it's your job. She was like, yes, but I already have makeup on, so there's no need. I'm like, oh, so imagine all the actresses came from church like me and they had makeup on, so you're automatically free for the day and you're supposed to get paid. I brought it up. So like the production manager had to like just call me to say like, hey, please, don't make that issue. She's pregnant, that she's cranky. I said, hey, me too, I'm pregnant now. let's see what's going on. Like, what's that? Like, I didn't raise my voice because I said I didn't know how to raise my voice, but I was talking to her like, what you're saying doesn't really make a lot of sense. And she just felt so entitled to her decision. And just sometimes you just have to let it go, like I eventually did that day. So situations like that and all, then overworking yourself, probably shooting from like 4 p.m. to like 1 a.m. If you don't have a passion for it, you actually burn out. But because you're excited about what you're doing, I think that's what keeps me going, So yeah, that's just those things. Well, they're not too much of problems, something we can handle.
Speaking of burnout, you are always working. How do you find the work-life balance? What do you do to kind of unwind from everything?
If I tell you what I do, it's still acting.
Of course, I trust you.
I really like that's just because okay, aside sleeping, watching a movie, going out with my friends, my mind will still be on, oh, I want to be a movie star right now. Oh, I want to be a real star right now. So my work is like my hobby, my fun. So yeah, literally. Going out, yeah, hanging out with my girls, yeah. But my mind is still like at work all the time. I can't help it.
What makes, in your opinion, what makes a great director?
First of all, it has to have like, no matter how little, but like basic knowledge about every department, even if it's not like a 50% knowledge, but just have an idea, right? Has to know how to coordinate people and manage them and their excesses. There are different kind of directors. There are directors that are more concerned about the actors acting. And there's a director that's more concerned about the technicalities, camera angles and all of that. So that's why they usually have more than one director on set, But like I said, it's important to have like basic knowledge about everything and know how to coordinate people because you're like the captain of the ship. So even if you are perfect at your job and you have all the degrees and knowledge, but you're not a people person, or your efforts is going to go down the drain. So a combination of a lot of knowledge and people management. Yeah, good.
You're good. You're good. Okay, what is your favorite Nigerian movie you've seen recently?
I don't have one recently.
Or all time?
Yeah, this movie by Bibi Shashere, Zainab Balogun was in it. God Calling. Yes, God Calling. God Calling. I love the fact that it's faith-based movie one. Then that's where I witnessed firsthand the exploration of like green screen acting in Nigeria, because they showed like that at the end of the movie, and I couldn't reconcile the green screen and Zainab falling falling off Third Mainland Bridge. It looked so real. I'm like, okay, we've actually advanced. That's lovely. So, the storytelling was great. They told a faith-based story without rubbing it in people's
Yeah.
faces, so that you can, yeah, it was brilliant. The casting was perfect. Like, everybody was made for their roles and everything. So yeah, that's one movie that I can't forget. I just can't forget from a Nigerian scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Nigerian song of the moment?
This is funny, but the artist, I don't think I recognize him. There's this "Loving You" by Zinolesky. You be
Okay.
my man. I just love that song. I don't know
Awesome.
why.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a cute love song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
What about your favorite Nigerian food?
Nigerian food?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I don't have.
You like them
I
all?
just eat anything that is sweet. So that is not bitter, I'm good. Sorry.
I agree with you. I agree with you. What is the chic station?
God. I
Ah,
have been investigated. Okay, that is my business. So when I'm not acting or making movies, I just always want to have something doing. So not acting or making movies, but while I'm writing something or planning something, I was like, oh, let me just. I love fashion, So I decided to dive into it. So it's my online store where I sell female clothes for now. We've not expanded to the other gender, but yeah, and it's really growing. Started attending to customers outside Lagos and all of that. So yeah.
you do it all. You do it all.
I try. I try. Thank you.
As Nigeria, we're going into the election year this year, the next year. What you have any hopes? What's your main hope for the country that you hope is addressed?
I just hope that people step out of the orientation that they have. I want them to clamor for change. I want them to do something different for the first time. I don't want to mention any candidate's name, but I just want them to think outside the box, look at things critically. I hate it when people say, this is the way we've been doing things, so let us continue that way. For me, that's not a very intelligent statement to make, because how will you now, upgrade your life and do something better for yourself? So I want us to just be bold, right? And look at statistics and examine things logically and make the right decision. And I'm happy that we have more figures of youth coming out to get their PVCs more than ever before. So it shows that NSAS actually birthed something. So right, a step in the right direction. So I just pray it continues that way and nobody gets intimidated, along the line. Because some people are scared, people are flying out of the country. But I just don't want them to bow to intimidation, really, and do the right thing. That's it.
Very, very important. What's the best thing to you about being Nigerian?
What's the best thing? Okay. I believe if you're Nigerian and you can survive in Nigeria, you can survive anywhere. It's just you can survive anywhere, because the country isn't exactly a very crispy place to live in. Is tough. So if you can survive here and you get to a first world country, for example, people will be amazed at your capabilities and they'll be like, oh wow, this is amazing. But to you, this is just basic hard work.
Yeah.
So Nigeria is like a training ground, like a military zone. They train you. So when you get to the civilians camp, you're a superhero, but that you're just being normal.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah, that's
I
it.
love that answer. Last two questions. What's the best advice your parents ever gave you?
Oh, let me see. That'll be one from my dad. My dad believes I can do anything.
Mhm.
he's he's like, you're smart. You will figure it out. I'm like, no, I know I'm smart, but I don't think I'm as smart as you are thinking. So no, you can do this. And he always feels one achievement, you shouldn't rest your hours. Let's say I've done something and it's really big. And it's like, I'm proud of you, but you can do better. that can be annoying sometimes because I'm like, let me finish basking in the glory of this thing now. It's like, no, don't know. Just make sure you don't, rely on that and be complacent. So my dad is always like, just go for it. You can do anything. So that's really motivating for me.
Last question, can you tell us the meaning of your name?
Oh, gladly. Okay, so my full name is Morolake.
Okay.
Yes, and it means I have seen wealth to care for. I've seen wealth to pamper. I'm just wealth to just care for me, take care of me, take me to Maldives.
Your name already says how you should be treated.
Like I've seen wealth to pamper. So yeah, that's my name. I love it. I love that name. I love the fact that I don't meet people every day bearing my name.
Yeah.
It's very, very uncommon.
Very beautiful.
For anything.
It's a beautiful name, and you also pamper your projects. You pamper your characters. You pamper your environments around you, hoping to make it better and hoping to see your own dreams come true. So it's a perfect name for you. So, Ms. Rolake, thank you for taking the time to do this. I'm glad. I like I said, I knew you a little bit, but I didn't know all these different things. You're so inspiring to people who may be in a traditional profession, but really their heart wants to do the creative. And you're showing that it can be done. You can do both. One is not a death sentence, So I love that you're doing this, you're passionate, and the sky is the limit, really.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be able to share my story, share my journey, because I've also been inspired by people's stories. I know how important it is for people to tell their truth, no sugarcoating, tell your struggles, your successes and everything. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for putting this together.
You're welcome. Before I let you go, where can people find you online and other places?
Okay, not very active on Twitter. I'm more on Instagram. So my Instagram is officialrolake_. Yeah, that's my Instagram handle. My YouTube, Rolake Adesina. Yeah, that's what I use the most. Yeah, that's YouTube and Insta.
Go and follow her, everybody, please. Rolake, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.